All right, hello. I know I don't normally start this way, but I thought I should say a word or two at the beginning of this episode. I am recording this quite late at night the day before, so there are two things that might keep this from getting online at the time that it's supposed to. Number one, it actually takes a very long time for Twitch to sort of get the thing processed. And obviously, the longer the video, the more time it takes to do something like that. And then, of course, it's Monday. I have work in the morning, which means I can't be spending too much more time in front of the computer. Otherwise, I'm just simply not going to be able to get up in time for work. And I would rather do my job. So I'm starting this video just to caution you while anybody watching on YouTube will be able to see the length of this video. Anybody who is watching the stream won't be able to know how long this thing winds up being. It is my intention to make sure that I have an Elder Scrolls episode every week, and unfortunately I've run out of the spare episodes, so this is it. So I did want to record an episode tonight, but I am very likely going to have a shorter one. And my general rule is going to be if the game crashes or something like that, that will be an excuse for me to wrap up the stream. Or alternatively, if there's an obvious breakpoint that comes a little bit earlier than when it normally would, it's not for a lack of interest in the game or anything along those lines. It's just that I have got two very good reasons to hold back. Number one, the longer I make the video, the less likely it is that I'm going to be able to put it live on Twitch at 7 o'clock. And then second of all, I do have a responsibility to keep a roof over my head and food on the table, which is why I will be continuing to go to work. But without further ado,
we'll continue the story of Caius, the finest spell sword, Dunmer, eternal champion, patriarch. And currently a little bit lost as to what he should be doing in the evening. Or during the day, rather. Actually, if memory serves, I believe I had another set of books that I wanted to read, but I will save that for now. And the real question is whether or not I want to go back to the palace. And see if I can get another quest, or if I should just move on to the next. This is going to be tempting. So yeah, the question really is whether or not I want to try and get another quest from the palace, or if I should just finish the work that in another region. Okay, let's see what books I've got. I know I don't own some of these, but I'm particularly looking for ones that I can fill out the ones I can fill out my library with. It probably would have been faster if I went to... Alright, it is volume 4 that I'm looking for. And King Edward, I'm looking for volume 3. Alright, so I can make some progress on that. Alright, I think the first thing I am going to do is visit the palace. I think it's fairly clear that there's nothing else for me to do. Actually, so with that in mind, it does raise the question, why would I bother? So, what's my alternative? Wayrest. Unless it was already there. Sorry, I need to keep track of who's in which location. That's right, we have already been there. Okay, well, I'm gonna do at least one more job for the ruling family. The challenge that I have here is I believe we're gonna be coming up to a day where we can do a Daedra summoning. And I'm not clear how much time. So I've got this hypothesis that this is where I'm supposed to be going. Hmm. Days. Well, I think I'll do one last quest just in case, and then I'll consider. I think the Direnni Temple sounds familiar. I know there was like the secret location that I was supposed to find someone at, or hidden location. And if nothing else, it just gives me something to check out.
The guard at the door intones in a bored voice. All of those having business with Queen Akorathi pass through the door at the back of the hall on the right-hand side. I would like you to have a lovely sapphire... would you like to have a lovely sapphire for my treasury, Caius? My alchemist has ordered a very rare ingredient, and he needs for an important experiment, and we need someone to pick it up. Do you think that you could handle that?
Yes.
Excellent, Caius. I knew that you'd be game. Take this turquoise down to Sentinel's best medical agents in Licinia. There, a young lady in green there by the name of Norhata. Ask her to give you the griffin's feathers she's brought from the south. Make sure that you're there and back in 7 days. Alrighty then, Caius. I'm relying on you. Don't make me regret it.
These are the kinds of jobs I can do very well. Although I suppose Sentinel is like the longest travel time to try and actually get a quest, so there's that drawback. I almost forgot.
Ah, hello. Always a pleasure.
South. All right.
Good day to you guys.
Everyone's so happy to see me. Southeast. This might be it. All right.
Sturdy shelves cobbled together out of scrap lumber hold the shop's wares. The items are sound and functional, but little more than that. Incense and soft music soothe your nerves as you cross the threshold. Each item in this shop is carefully mounted and displayed. Not the slightest defect can be detected on any item within.
Hello.
And you must be Caius, sent by Queen Akarathi, yes? Well, here's that griffin's feather that she wanted. You better hurry back with it. Her alchemist has very strong feelings about the freshness of ingredients. Misplaced, of course. Griffin's feather doesn't spoil. Still, you know what they say about one man's poison. Now hurry along.
I don't know if there's anything in my wagon she might want to... No, there is not.
No other holiday divides the people of Sentinel like the Third of Hearthfire. A few of the oldest, more superstitious men and women do not speak all day long for fear of the evil spirits of the dead will enter into their bodies. Most citizens enjoy the holiday, calling it Tales and Tallows, but even the most light-hearted avoid the dark streets of Sentinel, for everyone knows the dead do walk tonight. Only the Mages Guild completely thrives on this day. In celebration of the oldest magical science, necromancy, all magical items are half price today.
Too bad I don't need them. It's morning, not late at night. Alright, so we're dropping off the delivery. We'll see if there's another quest. Otherwise, I think I should consider that location. It's a very familiar name. The only thing I'm spooked about is if it winds up being just one of those treasure hunts that I found. Even then, that's not the end of the world if I just go and get some artifacts, so...
Out of the door in tones and a bored voice, all those having business with Queen Akarathi pass through the door at the back of the hall on the right-hand side.
Give me the money.
Good timing, Caius. My alchemist will be so pleased. It is a most excellent griffin's feather. As I promised, here's your sapphire. Pretty, isn't it? You are not by any chance free to run a simple errand for me. It's very simple. I would do it myself or have one of my runners take care of it. But we're also very busy. It would mean an extra 926 gold pieces. That's not too bad. Are you available?
Yes.
What luck. Now take this ring and go to Gisian, to a place called Sentinel Sundries. There's an odd young lady in green there named Korthaki. Give her the ring, and she will give you the 926 gold. Oh, and you need to be there in 4 days. That should not be a problem. You have sturdy young legs. Off with you, what?
Alright. In addition to the fact that this pays money, little travels like this, especially while I'm waiting for one of the recorded days from that book, basically it lets me practice spell casting over and over. Although I should have trained at the Mages Guild now that I think of it. So let's go do that now.
Incense and soft music soothe your nerves as you cross the threshold. Each item in this shop is carefully mounted and displayed. Not the slightest defect can be detected on any item within.
Yeah, it is alteration that I need to...
You and the trainer practice for 3 hours. The trainer tells you to reflect on what you've learned and to see if you can put it to good use.
Wow. Didn't give me a lot of time to do that.
This shop is better appointed than many. Its wares lie neatly on the shelves, although not fit for a king, all are skillfully crafted. Queen Akarathi hired you as a runner? Ah, the ring I've been expecting. Very good. Here's your gold. Thank you.
Let's see if I can spend it on anything here. Yep, that's what I was looking for. Oh, I think this is also... It is.
Gesian Sundries prides itself on having the lowest prices in Gesian. Though you have bargained with me until the sun is low in the sky, I can sell it for no less than 2,103 gold pieces.
Fine. Alright. So it's Hearthfire still. Oh, we might have a lot more time than I thought. Sorry, just had a quick message. Okay. Here's how I think I'm gonna handle it. Oh, first of all. So we'll do the first part of story time at the beginning of the journey. I already thought I had the madness of Pelagius. Alright, fair enough. I now have 2 copies, apparently. Okay, so I will read the Real Baron Zaya and the Madness of Pelagius.
The Madness of Pelagius. The man who would be emperor of all of Tamriel was born Thor's Pelagius Septim, a prince of the royal family of Wayrist, in the Third Era 119, at the end of the glorious reign of his uncle, Antiochus I. Wayrist had been showered by much preference during the years before Pelagius' birth, for King Magnus was Antiochus' favorite brother. It's hard to say when Pelagius' madness first manifested itself, for in truth, the first 10 years of his life were marked by such insanity that in the land itself. When Pelagius was just over a year old, Antiochus died, and a daughter, Kintara, assumed the throne to the acclaim of all. Kintira II was Pelagius' cousin and an accomplished mystic and sorceress. If she had sufficient means to peer into the future, she would surely have fled the palace. The story of the War of the Red Diamond has been told in many other scholarly journals, but as most historians agree, Kintara II's reign was usurped by her and Pelagius' cousin Uriel by the power of his mother, Potema, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude. The year after her coronation, Kintara was trapped in Glenpoint and imprisoned in the imperial dungeons there. All of Tamriel exploded into warfare as Prince Uriel took the throne as Uriel III, and High Rock, because of the imprisoned empress's presence there, was the location of some of the bloodiest battles. Pelagius' father, King Magnus, allied himself with his brother Sepphoris against the usurper emperor and brought the wrath of Uriel III and Queen Potema down on Wayrist. Pelagius, his brothers and sisters, and mother Euthelia fled to the Isle of Belphria,
which is where we'll be heading next.
Euthelia was in the line of Direnni, and her family manse is still located on that ancient isle even to that day.
That's another big indication we should go there.
There's thankfully much written record of Pelagius' childhood in Belphyria, recorded by nurses and visitors. All who met him described him as a handsome, personable boy, interested in sport, magic, and music. Even assuming diplomats' lack of candor, Pelagius seemed like, if anything, a blessing to the future of the Septim dynasty. When Pelagius was 8, Sepphoris slew Uriel III at the Battle of Ikedag and proclaimed himself Emperor Sepphoris I. For the next 10 years of his reign, Sepphoris battled Potema. Pelagius' first battle was the Siege of Solitude, which ended with Potema's death and the final end of the war. In gratitude, Sepphoris placed Pelagius on the throne of Solitude. As King of Solitude, Pelagius' eccentricities of behavior began to be noticeable. As a favorite nephew of the emperor, few diplomats to Solitude made critical commentary about Pelagius. For the first 2 years of his reign, Pelagius was at the very least noted for his alarming shifts in weight. 4 months after taking the throne, a diplomat from Ebonheart called Pelagius a hale and hearty soul with a heart so big it widens his waist. 5 months after that, the visiting princess of Firsthold wrote to her brother that the king's gripped my hand and it felt like I was being clutched by a skeleton. Pelagius is greatly emaciated indeed. Sepphoris never married and died childless 3 years after the Siege of Solitude. As the only surviving sibling, Pelagius' father Magnus left the throne of Wayrist and took residence in the imperial city as Emperor Magnus I. Magnus was elderly and Pelagius was his oldest living child, so the attention of Tamriel focused on Sentinel. By this time, Pelagius' bizarrities were becoming infamous. There were many legends about his acts as King of Sentinel, but few well-documented cases exist. It is known that Pelagius locked the young princes and princesses of Selvanar in his room with him, only releasing them when an unsigned declaration of war was slipped under the door, when he tore off his clothes during a speech he was giving at a local festival. His advisors apparently decided to watch him more carefully. On the orders of Magnus, Pelagius was married to the beautiful heiress of an ancient dark elf noble family, Kataraya Ratham. Nordic kings who marry dark elves seldom improve their popularity. There are 2 reasons most scholars give for the union. Magnus was trying to cement relations with Ebonheart, where the Rathim clan hailed. Ebonheart's neighbor, Mournhold, had been a historical ally of the Empire since the very beginning, and the royal consort of Queen Berenziah had won many battles in the War of the Red Diamond. Ebonheart had a poorly kept secret of aiding Uriel III and Potena. The other reason for the marriage was more personal. Catariah was as shrewd a diplomat as she was beautiful. If any creature was capable of hiding Pelagius's madness, it was she. On the 8th of Second Seed, Third Era 145, Magnus I died quietly in his sleep. Jolith, Pelagius' sister, took over the throne of Solitude, and Pelagius and Catariah rode to the imperial city to be crowned Emperor and Empress of Tamriel. It is said that Pelagius fainted when the crown was placed upon his head, but Catariah held him up so only those closest to the thrones could see what had happened. Like so many Pelagius stories, this one cannot be verified. Pelagius III never truly ruled Tamriel. Catariah and the Elder Council made all of the decisions and only tried to keep Pelagius from embarrassing all. Still, stories of Pelagius III's reign exist. It is said that when the Argonian ambassador from Blackrose came to court, Pelagius insisted on speaking in all grunts and squeaks, as that was the Argonians' natural language. It is known that Pelagius was obsessed with cleanliness, and many guests reported walking into the noise of an early morning scrub down of the imperial palace. The legend of Pelagius, while inspecting the servants' work, suddenly defecating on the floor to give them something to do, is probably apocryphal. When Pelagius began actually biting and attacking visitors at the imperial palace, it was decided to send him to a private asylum. Catariah was proclaimed regent 2 years after Pelagius took the throne. For the next 6 years, the emperor stayed in a series of institutions and asylums. Traitors to the empire have many lies to spread about this period. Whispered stories of hideous experiments and tortures performed on Pelagius have almost become accepted as fact. The noble lady Catariah became pregnant shortly after the emperor was sent away, and rumors of infidelity and, even more absurd, conspiracies to keep the sane emperor locked away ran amok. As Catariah proved, her pregnancy came about after a visit to her husband's cell. With no other evidence as loyal subjects, we are bound to accept the empress's word on the matter. Her second child, who would reign for many years as Uriel IV, was a child of her union with her consort Lariet, and publicly acknowledged as such. On a warm night in Sun's Dawn, in his 34th year, Pelagius III died after a brief fever in his cell at the Temple of Kinnereth on the Isle of Bethany. Catariah I reigned for another 46 years before passing on the scepter to the only child that she had with Pelagius, Cassander. Pelagius's wild behavior has made him perversely dear to the province of his birth and death. The 2nd of Sun's Dawn, which may or may not have been the anniversary of his death, records are not very clear, is celebrated as Mad Pelagius, the time when foolishness of all sorts is encouraged. And so, one of the least desirable emperors in the history of the Septim dynasty has become one of the most famous ones. Okay, The Real Berenziah Part 4. I'm just going to update my notes here. Oh, hang on. There's a difference between The Real Berenziah and Biography of Berenziah. I may not read this if I haven't read the others. Yep, that is the biography. Okay, fair enough. No more reading then. Dry bones are littered everywhere.
Now the challenge is I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to find in here. Nope, now I'm stuck. So, obviously here, it makes as much sense for me to go back to the entrance and just drop off some of those items. I should have sold that sapphire when I was in the general store. The hell is going on there? I'm kind of tempted to just levitate over and see what's going on. Wait, what? That's really funny. Neat. All right. Ah, so these are just bodies. Well, that was a good use of mana. So before I go too far, I think I'm actually going to start at the base and then work my way over. So I must have got turned around. Nope. No, this place is apparently a maze. Cool. Of course, the challenge is I'm going to try and pick up everything, because I don't know what I'm looking for. Ow.
Scrap of parchment shows the location of the ruins of Mastersley Grange. You record it on your map.
That might actually be one that I check out. Well, it'll be a profitable run if nothing else. If I ever feel particularly threatened, I can always switch back to my my katana, but there isn't quite the same reason to do that at the moment. So I'm going to be a little more strict on teleporting just because this might be the only encounter that I do. But if there's no obvious way through that gate and I've explored everything else, I will use the cheats. I could have sworn that would have been something I had to interact with. D. Surprise! Oh, you're kidding me. Don't mind if I do. That was admittedly a little bit of a letdown. Alright, here seems to be as good of a spot to rest as any. Nice. I hate you. Yeah, these things are no joke. Alright. I don't know if I can handle another one of these things right now. Yeah, damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Spell Reflect might be good here. So yeah, if I have to, I'm gonna leave the ingredients behind. Because kind of gold is the most valuable to me right now. But I want to try and load up as much as I can. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put an anchor down. Again, if you wind up with almost 1,000 each time you drop one of those guys, it adds up pretty quick. Huh. Alright then. I don't know how it is that I'm making progress, but I seem to be. Spoke too soon. So now the really obvious question is, where do I make progress? Sure. Okay, I'm utterly fascinated at how that happened. I don't normally like looking up walkthroughs, but I want to see if there's a map for this. Normally there aren't, but if this is supposed to be a central quest, that might be different. It looks like... It almost looks like a map, but it isn't. Alright, not worth it. Try this the old-fashioned way, but I think I'm stuck. Oh, nope, there's a spot there. Okay. Again, I don't want to joke around with those, so... Why this exists, no one will ever know. Alright, interesting, but I'm gonna save that to see if I can find what's going on in here. Oh, Christ. Alright, that wasn't so bad. I think I'm gonna dump these in favor of trying to get the high value items first. I'm sure this is gonna wind up getting changed again, but I'm sticking with this for now. I'm sure I'll find out who's cackling at me at some point, but for now it'll be a mystery. That's right, I forgot. start carrying letters of credit. Alright. I'm really tempted to end it here, because I'm feeling very tired, but let's give it one more shot. This is going to take a long time to load, though.
For the benefit of people sort of waiting to see what's happening with this, every time this crashes, or actually every time it quits, but it doesn't matter if it quits just because I'm doing the... obviously I stop recording at that point. But the... there is a cloud save that's enabled on GOG, which is what I'm playing on it. And for reasons that I'm not 100% clear on, it tries to use it, and it just seems to spin its wheels for a really long time before it actually, loads itself, actually loads anything up. Every time I try to cancel it, essentially it's just going to wait to do that sync. So the challenge is that it makes for a really tedious wait, and I'm not 100% sure how much longer I can really keep going with this. Oh, it's done, so all right. And now it syncs again. So I normally keep a book by the computer, but that would be particularly tedious to just silently read while it's on a black screen, so. Sorry, this one's a little more phoned in just because I'm really trying to get something in time for what is effectively this evening now, but I also don't want to, I don't want to do like a 1 hour video. I'll try and go. I don't know if I'll be able to go to the end of this level, but I'll at least try to do something a little better. Still on the second half of the sync. So every time Elder Scrolls crashes, this is the kind of wait that I need to deal with. I've never tested it for just like a regular close because I pretty much go to bed straight after recording this stuff. It's back. And apparently I'm the only one who can see it.
All right, where were we? up straight now. Oh, I do so love mazes. Christ. So given the fact I still struggle against some of the ancients, maybe I'll just pass by that for now. I can never find this spell. There we go. I think I'm done picking stuff up for the next little while. They're certainly not messing around. I don't think so. This will do anything. It slightly annoyed him before he murdered me. Maybe a rest is in order. Right, that's those same guys. Yes. This is a tough call because I think I'm already at max intelligence. there's a little more I can get out of strength, but for now, it's, I think will carry a few benefits. Oh, this is promising. I'm really not sure what to make of this level. I mean, there's vampires everywhere. It's certainly challenging. But I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here yet. Alright, good to know I didn't miss out on too much. They do mazes like this. Oh boy. All right. I hate these things, but Ah, yes. The famous vampire room contained in all modern towers. Oh, nothing else for me here. Okay, that makes me very, very angry. Because I know that has almost certainly been at play in some other map that I've needed to play. Don't even know why I check at this point. Again, the fact that I don't know what any of those, like any of these switches does, is the thing that probably keeps me from really enjoying this. Probably gonna head back to that teleport, but I would like to try and explore as much as I can first. I think I'm gonna need to rest in a minute. That was helpful. Yeah, that was nothing. Ah, yes, the other vampire room. I know it well. Ah, the maze. Every time I make the map go askew, I'm always really tempted to try and reset the game. Oh, promising. Oh, I want that scarab. Not that much, actually. And a dead end. Although, compared to other maps, at least that room sort of has its own internal logic. Oh, no. That one was particularly upsetting. Boo. If I get like the Black Plague from this or something like that, I'm gonna be very upset. Well, I'm glad we did this. I don't think that's a ramp down, but I'll check. Ah! Yeah, no. think I could probably do with like half the number of labyrinths in this thing. Speaking of, oh, Jesus Christ. No. I am teleporting when it gets time for that. Why would they do this? Alright, I'm sorry. I really wanted to make an effort of it, but okay, well this is clearly some objective. Oh Jesus, come on. Yay. Even if I can just find out where they are and if there's a path to it. So, I don't even want to imagine how many rays that was. Why? Oh, Jesus Christ. So apparently it's 100 stacked ghosts. Then they just add the vampire for fun. feel like I need to save every time I kill one of those things. What? Oh God, why would I voluntarily go back down there? Unless it isn't the same area. It's the same area. I guess at least I can dump off the stuff that I've already got. Run for your lives. Yes, apparently there's no way actually in there. But forgot, now I can pick up stuff again. Normally I don't loot stuff that I get through cheats, but I am sufficiently annoyed by this level that I'm taking attacks.
Freshly drawn map indicates the long-lost location of ruins of Old Barbara's Place, which you copy down.
Well, I didn't fancy my chances there, but So before I talk to this person, I kind of want to see if there was a way I could have gotten there. And where I got turned around. Oh, you know what? Oh, God, yes, alright. So apparently some infuriating switch puzzle.
Greetings, Caius. I am Midore Direnni, former sorceress of the court of Daggerfall. I think this might have been...
I'm sorry, this might have been the lover of Lysandus who was exiled. Yes, we were supposed to find someone exiled or who had put themselves up. I'm pretty sure this is the person.
Of the court of Daggerfall. I have an interest in helping you in your aim to exercise the spirit of King Lysandus, but I can do little in my present circumstances. If you would pay a visit to a certain other sorceress, I will lift the curse on Direnni Tower. Will you do this for me, Caius?
Yes.
I will be in your debt, Caius. Nulfaga, the mother of my former lord Lysandus, is a renowned mystic, but I have heard whispers that the loss of his son has turned her mad with grief. If this is not true, she can and will help me. I need a certain rare item, the horn of a great unicorn, to break the curse on Direnni Tower. If Nulfaga is indeed mad, you must search her castle for this horn yourself and bring it back to me. I will expect you back in 87 days.
That's not asking much. Right, it's Shadowgan. Alright. I'm sorry to leave it a little under 2 hours, but I am going to have to reload to get to the start anyway. So I think this is going to be where I end it, and I apologize for the short run, but have a good evening. I will try to record a Surviving Mars one for Thursday, and we'll see you next week for a full episode.